In just 11 minutes, uncover the most explosive insights from Amanda Seale versus 20 Black conservatives on Jubilee Surrounded. These 10 game-changing takeaways reveal why conservatives push for self-reliance, the clash over Black-on-Black crime, systemic racism denied, the role of fathers, Amanda's radical stance, and how this debate exposes deep divides. Takeaway 1. Amanda Seale takes on 20 conservatives. From the very beginning of the debate, Amanda Seale stood her ground against a wall of conservative voices. She was the only radical in the room, surrounded by 20 Black conservatives, and this tension shaped the entire discussion. Her first major claim was that reparations are just and necessary. Amanda did not simply argue about money. She described reparations as a way to repair centuries of damage done to Black people through slavery, segregation, and systemic exclusion. She reminded everyone that America had already compensated other groups such as Japanese Americans who were placed in internment camps and Jewish people after the Holocaust. She even noted that in some cases, slave owners had been paid reparations for losing their slaves, while the enslaved themselves were given nothing. This made her point very clear. If America could repair others, why not Black people? Amanda also explained that reparations could go beyond cash payments. They could be structured as investments in housing, education, and access to resources that had been denied to Black communities for generations. She said, "Reparations are an act of repair. They are an effort to say our bad, we see you now." Her position created an immediate clash with conservatives, who dismissed reparations as a handout that would never happen. Amanda knew she was outnumbered, but her ability to stay calm, return to facts, and insist on history being acknowledged set the tone for the entire debate. For example, she pointed out that Black inventors had their intellectual property stolen, which not only robbed them of wealth, but also denied them recognition. Reparations could, in her view, address these stolen contributions as well. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 2, conservatives push for self-reliance. The conservatives responded to Amanda by insisting that Black people already have equal opportunity in America, and that the problem lies within the community itself. They repeatedly stressed that personal responsibility, hard work, and family structure matter more than government intervention. One conservative said, "We believe in hard work. We believe in going to work and working for what you got, not asking for handouts from people who never had slaves." They argued that reparations would be unfair to white families whose ancestors fought on the Union side during the Civil War and never owned slaves. Another guest argued that Black culture today has become toxic, pointing to fatherless homes and welfare dependency as the real obstacles. Their view was that focusing on racism only keeps Black people in a victim mindset. For example, one guest said his ancestors were not asking for handouts, they were asking for opportunity, and since then Black people have had a Black president and vice president, which proves progress is possible without reparations. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 3, the clash over Black-on-Black crime. One of the most heated exchanges was about Black-on-Black crime. Conservatives like Jasmine, who lost her father and cousin to violence from other Black men, spoke passionately that the greatest threat to Black lives is not the police, but other Black people. She said it was more likely that her own brother would rob or harm her than a white officer. Amanda countered that the phrase Black-on-Black crime is misleading because all races commit crimes against people of their own race. White people kill white people at high rates too, but it is never called white-on-white crime. Amanda argued that focusing on this phrase creates a false image that Black people are uniquely violent. She said underfunded schools, lack of resources, and heavy policing make the conditions that fuel violence in Black communities. For example, she pointed to community programs like violence interrupters in Detroit and Baltimore, where residents step in before police arrive to de-escalate conflicts, and these programs showed real results but are rarely funded. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 4, systemic racism is denied by many. The debate revealed a sharp divide on systemic racism. Conservatives argued that racism today is not systemic, but only exists in the hearts of a few individuals. They said successful Black people, such as Barack Obama becoming president, prove the system is open to everyone. Amanda strongly rejected this. She explained that redlining policies intentionally trapped black families in low-value neighborhoods and blocked them from building wealth through home ownership. She gave the example of black families receiving lower appraisals for their homes, but when they removed all signs of being black and had white friends pose as the owners, their homes suddenly gained much higher value. This, she said, is proof that racism is still baked into systems like real estate and banking. For example, in Marin County, California, a black family's home was valued much higher once they staged it to look like a white family lived there, showing how racism continues even without written laws. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 5. The role of fathers sparks argument. Another point of conflict was about the absence of fathers in black households. Several conservatives argued that crime and poverty in the black community are caused mainly by fathers abandoning their families. One said that black boys without fathers are 10 times more likely to commit crimes. Amanda did not deny that family breakdown has an effect, but she asked why so many fathers are missing in the first place. She said the answer is not simply bad choices, but systemic forces that have pushed men out of homes. She explained that mass incarceration has locked up huge numbers of black men, often for minor offenses, and that private prisons are built based on third-grade reading scores, predicting how many children will end up behind bars. For example, she explained that black men have been sentenced to much longer prison terms for the same crimes compared to white men, which weakens black families and fuels the very cycle conservatives blame on fatherlessness. We're halfway through the video. Thanks for sticking with us. If you're enjoying it, hit the thumbs up and share it in your WhatsApp groups. If you'd like to support us, please tap the thanks button below. It helps us keep making great content. Drop a comment and don't forget to hit subscribe for more. Now let's continue with the video. Takeaway 6. Amanda defines her radical stance. In a calmer moment, Amanda explained what she meant by calling herself a radical. She said liberals are simply not Republicans, but radicals believe in living opposite to the values of colonizers, who built America on capitalism and imperialism. Amanda believes true liberation for black people cannot come from joining a system that is built on exploitation. She described capitalism as a system that convinces people they must earn their right to exist. In her view, human beings should have the right to live with dignity without being criminalized for poverty. For example, she said that poor people in America are punished through low wages and criminalization, which proves capitalism is not neutral but designed to exploit. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 7. Black conservatism and the working class. Amanda argued that black conservatism fails the working class. She said conservatives encourage people to work, but do not protect them from exploitation. One conservative insisted that conservatives are actually the real defenders of the working class because they push for people to enter skilled trades instead of chasing government aid. Amanda disagreed, saying that simply telling people to work ignores the way corporations steal from workers through low pay and unfair conditions. She reminded everyone that black communities that worked hard and built wealth, such as Black Wall Street in Tulsa, were violently destroyed by white mobs, proving that hard work alone does not guarantee safety or progress. For example, the massacre in Tulsa in 1921 destroyed generations of wealth and showed how quickly black economic success could be erased. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 8. Division over Black Lives Matter. Another major division came when Joshua from New Orleans questioned the focus of Black Lives Matter. He said the movement only seems to care when white police officers kill black people while ignoring black on black killings in cities like his own. Amanda explained that the phrase Black Lives Matter means black lives should be valued when the state uses deadly force. She said the movement is about demanding justice in cases where police officers kill black people without accountability. For example, she pointed out that police often show restraint when dealing with suspects of other races, but with black suspects they quickly escalate to violence, which proves that black lives are not valued equally. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 9. Personal stories shape strong views. Many of the conservatives leaned on personal experiences to defend their positions. Jasmine described losing her father and cousin to black men, which made her believe that self-destruction is a bigger problem than racism. Another guest told the story of his grandfather, who grew up in poverty in Alabama, but rose through the Navy to build a stable family, which convinced him that hard work is enough to succeed. Amanda also drew on personal history. She spoke about her mother, who came from Grenada with a nursing degree and was able to work and succeed in America. Amanda stressed, however, that immigrants come with advantages that African Americans born into a history of oppression do not have. For example, her mother arrived with an education, while many Black Americans were denied wealth and education for generations. So comparing the two groups ignores the very different starting points. Now let's move to the last takeaway. Takeaway 10. The debate exposes deep divides. By the end, the debate made one thing very clear. The divide between Amanda Seales and the 20 Black conservatives was deep and unbridgeable. The conservatives stressed accountability, family, and rejecting victimhood. Amanda emphasized history, systemic forces, and the need for repair through radical change. Both sides had personal stories and examples to prove their point, but they were looking at the same reality from very different angles. This tension is exactly what kept the debate compelling. For example, when Amanda argued that capitalism is rooted in exploitation, a conservative responded that capitalism gave him his career and stability, showing how personal experience shapes whether people see the system as opportunity or as oppression. The clash never reached resolution, which made the debate feel like a raw, honest reflection of how divided Black political thought really is. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support this channel, hit the thanks button below. It really helps us keep going. If you enjoyed this summary, please leave a like and share it in your WhatsApp groups. To join discussion about this video, drop a comment below. And for more videos like this, hit the subscribe button below.